Okay, we are live on YouTube, Facebook, and we are getting connected to Instagram. How's everyone doing today? Is anyone out there? Hello? All right. What's going on with Instagram? Instagram slow. Look at this. We can share to groups. Did you know that? You can share to groups?
In what, Facebook?
Yeah. So I'm just... Switch Factory. Huh. Okay, something's wrong with the Instagram live. Sorry, welcome people on Facebook. I'm just getting arranged right now. So we're talking about 360 Lipo today. So if you have any specific questions, but something I'm real excited about, real passionate about. So I want to get excited. I want to talk about this stuff. We had a really great day today, sucking fat, ridding the world of fat. Hey, what's going on? Who's there?
How's Instagram doing?
It's not coming on. Do you want to try your phone?
Yeah, let me see.
Tomorrow's my 6-month pre-op. Huh. Let's see. Here we go. Tanya, feeling great. That's awesome. Shirley Davila, what's up? Just saying hi to people as this populates. So it says live is paused. Why would live be paused?
Go ahead and get out of his Instagram.
All right, that's gone. What's up, people? All right, so we are going live on Instagram. Tammy West, how's it going? All right. You guys like this cool little setup I got here? This is actually a chair. One of those like swinging egg chairs. It's kind of cool. Figured we'd use it, you know? You buy these things and it's like nobody ever sits in these. And you feel like you're just like wasting your money on buying stupid stuff, but it's actually not that uncomfortable. So I'm enjoying it. And we'll get a little footage out of this. So 360 Lipo. Who's interested in 360 Lipo? If you're interested in 360 Lipo, make sure you're sharing this with your friends. So 360 Lipo, how it's benefiting people is, well, larger individuals are able to get an hourglass figure, which to me is super exciting, like really freaking exciting, because these people, they see themselves as fat girls, and it's a different, like, believe me, I've been around all kinds of people that have weight issues and concerns with their bodies, and these girls, they see themselves as fat, and they're like mentally, they write themselves off, and because they write themselves off, most other people write them off as well. And the thing that really excites me is like I'm able to literally take these people that were like, they were apple shaped, so they're you know, they're filled in the midsection here, they're square, they just like, you know, they just have no shape to them, and be able to literally sculpt them and create these bodies. Like, the coolest thing is to be able to see how these people respond afterwards. And I think I spoke about it the other day about I saw one of my patients at Home Depot, and it was just like randomly at Home Depot, and I ran into this patient, and she's like, Trevor, from across, and her husband's following behind her, and she's like, look at me, and she's like literally like lifting up her shirt and getting like half naked, showing me her 360 lipo, and she had fat transfer to the butt, and her butt was like she was wearing tights. And she was so happy, so excited about her body. Like, that's what it's all about. So I like to talk about it. It's exciting to me because, You know what? Most of the procedures that I'm doing nowadays are 360 lipo. And if you haven't heard about this, you gotta hear about it. You gotta learn about it. You gotta tell your friends about it, your family about it. People that are struggling with their weight, struggling with like not fitting into their clothes properly, or because they carry everything around their midsection. So basically, your friend that wears those like big baggy sweatshirts, like that person, that's the person that I want to help. That's the person that I want to change their lives forever. And 360 lipo is like this is a game changer, a game changer, I'm telling you. And this is all technique. I've been experimenting for a long time. I've been doing thousands and thousands of these procedures, and I'm getting this right. I'm getting it right consistently. And I've been testing and trying new techniques, and I'm getting these techniques down that are just like, man, it just yesterday I took this lady, she was like 245, had carried everything in the midsection, and it had one of those shapes that like she comes down and she's like really square, and she is all filled in all the way around the waistline, so much that with gravity, you know how it starts to like fold over. So like in the front of your belly it starts to fold over, but when you get bigger it starts to fold over on the sides as well, so you get the side fold. And then some people, when it gets big enough, it starts to fold over in the back, so it makes it look like your butt, like it literally comes out to the butt and your back's filled in, and your butt angles down. Like that's like it's not supposed to look like that at all. And so it's like, what I've found is that you can take these there's like signs of the chubby person, I'll say. And so, and I'm not, there's not really good language for this, so forgive me if I butcher this a little bit, but hopefully I can portray to you what I'm talking about, because I'm fixing these problems. So, but because I see these things in people, that there's certain things that just, when you have these problems, you're chubby. You don't have these problems unless you're chubby. So like the front of your belly folding over, skinny people don't have that problem. Okay, so this is an issue. So this is their concern. Like nobody likes that shit that folds over. Like it sucks. And you either put your pants under it or you put your pants on top of it. Either one looks weird, and nobody likes to do it. As the individuals get larger, they tend to put their pants up higher. So now they're wearing their pants just under their chest, and they create a crease right in the middle of the midsection here. And then that usually follows all the way along towards the back. So now what it does is it raises up their entire waistline. So their waistline is up higher. So their torso appears really, really short. Now that becomes a huge problem when you're 5'3". So when you fill in the midsection with fat, when you're 5'3", it makes it look like your torso, like you're just one big torso. There are no curves. And a good example of this, if you follow me, you'll know I worked on a radio DJ. There's lots of stuff on our website. Lady G, she was like 4'11", and she was like a box. And I was able to carve out this hourglass figure, and this was with 360 lipo. We went all the way around the waistline, and her butt, all of a sudden there was amazing. It's amazing, and like, I hope you guys can feel the energy coming off of me, because it's something that like I'm changing people's lives, and it makes a huge difference on the way that they feel, the way that they look at themselves. The patient this morning was just saying, is like every morning I wake up and I look in the mirror and I avoid. She said I avoid looking because I don't want to see. And that's, man, like, that starts your day off bad, like right from the beginning. The energy in your life is going to start bad every single day if you're avoiding looking at yourself. So, she's like, what is the value of feeling good about yourself? Like when you look at the mirror, what is the value of looking in the mirror and being like, damn, I look good? Like, what is that worth to you? So that's why people get these procedures now. But the problem is like just getting the procedures, there's no guarantee that you're going to get the results that you expect, right? So that's why when you do your research, you look around and you see, what the results are of the person that you're going to. And you know I can tell you, I've been doing liposuction for, it's like 12 years now. Like thousands and thousands and thousands of procedures, like so many procedures. And I've developed these techniques, and the crazy thing is, like, these techniques, I'm still developing them. I have been working on this technique for the 360 lipo for probably about 2 years now, and if you notice, I'm talking about it a lot more now, and I wasn't talking about it 2 years ago. Not as much, because my techniques are getting better and they're getting more consistent, and I'm able to take these larger individuals, and I can do this with consistency, getting a significant reduction. Like, I'm talking about these bigger girls now, so I'm not talking about these, like, it's easy to make a small person a little bit smaller, but taking these big ass people, these people that have like gained weight, lost weight, gained weight, and like maybe they're 250, 270, like large individuals that need a lot of fat taken off them. Those are the people that we're changing their lives. The people that, when you go to a plastic surgeon, the plastic surgeon's like, I think you need to lose weight. Those people that get turned away from every other plastic surgeon, every other person that does liposuction, those people that the doctor is scared because they think it's going to be a lot of work. Those are the people that I'm talking about. Those are the people that I'm helping. Those are the people that are getting 360 liposuction and it's changing their lives overnight. Let's see. Do you guys see any questions?
Not many questions. People are just still going on. But there's one lady. Her name is Carla.
Yeah.
She says, "I've had a consultation, but I'm scared to go."
She's had a consultation, but she's scared to go.
Yes.
So the question is, why are you scared?
Mm-hmm.
Why are you scared? All right. I'm going, I was on Facebook. I was on my personal. So I was like, why is there's like only like 9 people? Stupid. Okay, sorry. So Instagram's there, like we had like 30, people are watching. So I'm like looking for questions. Like nobody's asking any questions. Like, why? Okay. So I'm a new client. This is KBS Serratos. Okay, you're going with me in December for sure. I already got a consultation. Yay, I'm so happy. That's awesome. It's so cool that there's so many like people that are like getting their consultations that jump on these lives, and then a lot of our previous patients that jump on these lives as well. Hey, what's up, everyone on Facebook? We're talking about 360 lipo today. What's up, Mari? You guys are jumping in a little bit late. I messed up and went live on my personal page, so welcome. Got my consultation. See, that's awesome. I'm really glad everybody is at least getting the consultations, because the consultations will give you an idea of what you personally can expect. So how much does this 360 lipo start at? So okay, so let's how about we'll define 360 lipo and what 360 lipo is. So 360 lipo is essentially, makes sense, right? 360 degrees all the way around the waistline. Now, what that means in reality is basically like we're going to go just below the chest, so the breast line or the chest, male chest, all the way down to the natural fold. So that's where the belly folds over. We'll go all the way down to the fold. So the goal would be to get rid of the fold, that pannus, that part that hangs over. That would be the goal. So all the way from the chest, all the way down to that end point down at the bottom. Now, some individuals, they're not that big. Size of the area is about the size of a hand. So an individual like myself, I'm about 2 hands. So we consider that 2 areas. Now, as you get larger, everything on you gets larger. So we charge, it's essentially based off of surface area. So if you're significantly larger, your abdomen's elongated and wider, it's a larger surface area. It's clearly more work. We have to use more supplies. So it's priced appropriately. We are very fair, and I'm very generous. And by the way, I get out a shitload of fat. So you might be able to get it for cheaper somewhere else, but there's for sure you can spend a lot more money other places as well. But I can tell you this: you're gonna get consistently awesome results with the 360. I can't remember the last time we had a patient that had like even modestly mediocre results. I don't remember the last time I ever had someone that I saw like, well, I wish I would have done better. It just doesn't happen, you know. So here's one of the benefits of uh, of experience that for me personally is, you know, once you make mistakes, you try not to make those mistakes again. So in doing thousands of procedures, I believe me, I've made a lot of mistakes along the way, and I've had problems, I've had complaints, I've had issues, but you bounce back from that stuff and you get better and you grow from it. So I've taken each experience that I had, each negative experience, and I've taken that to grow from it and get better. And so because of that, I continue to advance and continue to evolve into a better liposuction surgeon, and my techniques, it's like it's on point now. So you know, I'm ready to talk more about 360 lipo because it's like it's changing. It's a game changer. It's a game changer for people. I'm telling you, this is it. This is, you want to change your entire body, change your shape, everything. This is it. This is how you do it. And it's, you can, you know, creating the hourglass figure is like this central point of the body. Doing the lower back area on the back side, when you take the back side down, it makes the butt pop out. So it's funny. Someone told me that they someone's been hashtagging me the butt pop doc or something like that. I don't know, but when we do the 360, the butt like pops out, and it's like it's crazy, you know, because like I do fat transfer BBLs, and clearly, it we charge more for BBL, and it's awesome. I like doing that, but like most people don't even need it anymore. Once we do the take the fat out of the lower back, it makes the butt pop out, and it's like I'm creating the shape of the butt, and it's just like I'm getting so good at it, and it's the coolest thing to be able to create as an artist, to be able to create what my vision is, because I see the stuff in my head, I see the curves the way it should be, and to be able to create it and manifest the vision onto the patient, that's what's magical. And that's what you're paying for. So you're paying for that amazing, that wow, that consistently, that banging body. Like that's what you're gonna get when you come to My Shape Lipo. So future client, plan on getting lipo 360 in June. Good for you. Good for you. Look, it's everybody's on their own timeline. I know some of the it's cool is that a lot of you individuals have been following me for years, and it's like I really do appreciate it, and it's I get on these lives and I talk, and sometimes you feel like you're talking to nobody because you're talking to a camera, um, but I do appreciate each of you, leaving comments and asking questions, and definitely hitting the share button, because there's lots of people that we can help. And here's the thing that I'm finding, that one of the issues is that people don't know that you can get liposuction while you're awake. People don't know that you can get liposuction instead of a tummy tuck. So I'm trying to educate people. I'm trying to get the word out that, you know, when you go to plastic surgeons, they're telling the same story every time, that you need a tummy tuck. You got some loose skin, you need a tummy tuck. You got some stretch marks, you need a tummy tuck. You're whatever weight, whatever BMI, you need a tummy tuck. It's the same story every time. So all I'm here to tell you is that liposuction, you don't need a tummy tuck. The skin retracts back phenomenally well, like amazing. The techniques that I'm using now is like, I don't know what whatever I'm doing is eliciting consistent, amazing, dramatic results consistently. And that's the key, is consistently. And so I didn't want to talk about this stuff as much because it wasn't as consistent. I wasn't able to consistently get the same results. And so that's changed. And now is the time to take advantage of it. Now is the time. I'm in my prime doing this, and I am making people like, I impress myself. And it's like I have really, really high standards. I'm a perfectionist. I like to do things like, I don't like to do a half-ass job. I don't like to do part way. I'm either all in or I'm not in at all. So when I'm saying I'm all in on the like 360 lipo is badass, And if you're gonna get if you want to get the life-changing results, like this is it. You see any questions, Granville?
Let me see. You spoke about the layaway plan last time. You were
Uh-huh.
asking about how your layaway works.
So layaway is I mean it's like any other layaway, right? So basically it's a payment plan that you make payments prior to the procedure, and it's like a bank account. We're saving the money for you, and then when that bank account gets big enough, then you can go ahead and get the procedure. So if like let's just say round numbers, it's you have a $5,000 that you want to save up for it. You divide that by 10 months, that would be $500 a month. And so you can either do that through credit card or um, I don't know how we can do like bank transfer. I mean, anyways, you can do like a automatic payment, so you don't have to think about it. So it's kind of like one of those things that you set it up and you don't have to think about it. And then next thing you know, you're like, oh, a year later, you're getting your liposuction procedure. Awesome. So, we try to make this as easy as possible. Like, look, I'm a businessman, and the most important thing that I know as a consumer when I'm going anywhere is like it has to be easy. We're trying to make this so easy. It's like people come from all over the world, and from all these different states, and they fly in here, and like 70% of our patients are coming from out of state. So we try to make the process as easy as possible, as affordable as possible. Like, I've been doing this a long time, so we try to think of all the possible issues that you might have, and we actually will we have supplies for you, to especially from your out of state. Like you don't want to dirty up the hotel room, so we got you all taken care of. We've done this before. Like you come to My Shape Lipo, you get a pro. Like literally, I've done this thousands of times. Our employees have done this thousands of times. So we just try to make it as easy as possible. Someone asked, how many incision points do we make? So we call them adits. And all it is, an adit is a tiny little puncture hole, and it's basically I use a biopsy punch. If any of you people in the medical field know what that is, a biopsy punch is a circular blade essentially. So it's like an apple core, if you think of that, but it's tiny. It's 2 millimeters, so a tiny little puncture hole. Instruments go through there. Then it closes up, and it tends to shrink up and get smaller. But I can't remember the last time I had a complaint about those incision points. Maybe someone if someone's had a procedure, you guys can chime in on this. I've had the procedure. I can't even find the scars anymore. But how many? I mean, like I have my standards. Like on the front of the abdomen, I usually go kind of like if you can imagine the four corners. So usually you're able to hide this right under the chest, right here. Then at the bottom as well. So it's kind of four corners of the abdomen. Then I do two on the sides, and then for the lower back, I do two for the lower back. So I don't know, however many numbers that is, but look, don't worry about the incisions. The purpose, like I've developed the techniques with this, that so that the way I position the holes, it allows for me to get in these specific, it's very specific what I do. It allows me to get into a specific position and angles to get the deep pockets of fat. And so all of us, with the anatomy, the human anatomy, we create these pockets. And so what I've been testing is that how deep are these pockets. And that's the cool thing, is like when I was first starting out, it's a fear factor. As a practitioner, you're scared. You're like, if you go deeper, you might cause some problems, right? It's scary. So I didn't go as deep, and what I found that is I essentially created a layer. I took the middle layer, then I went everything up, and then but I was leaving a thick layer down below, so the results were not as dramatic, right? So I like dramatic results. So I kept thinking, I'm like, man, how can I do this? And like, how is it that someone comes back and I can still get fat out? Like, why didn't I get all the fat out the first time, right? So I'm thinking about this. How am I doing this? So I'm creating. I think I'm like it's got to be more there, right? So I start going deeper, and I realize, okay, well, there's still fat coming out. There's no blood or anything. So I'm cool. The patient's still numb. Everything's good. So I go deeper, and I go deeper, and I go deeper, and I'm like, this is cool. And now as I go deeper, this you start getting those like serious curves. And so that's when we talk about sculpting. Like you can literally carve out a midsection where it went out before. Now it's gonna go in, and it's like just like that, just like that, and it's freaking exciting. And so what I've been testing is finding these pockets, and there's specific pockets like in the back part of the rib there. You can there's a gap between the pelvis and the ribs. It's just like a big gap, and people fill in with fat. And so that's where the hourglass figure is. But if you can take that all the way down, but it's not just taking it all the way down. You got to get all the way down to the muscle, and the muscles actually forms that curve. So anatomically, this is what it creates. So as I'm getting more comfortable with the human anatomy and understanding the way it works, I can see and I can feel where these pockets of fat are, and I know how where I can go deeper. So I keep testing and going deeper, and as I keep testing, I'm just getting better and better and better results. And it's like it's crazy when someone lays on the table and they have these, you know, the characteristics of a fat person where things are hanging over, and they have folding of the, like the belly button starts to look weird, and bowls where the belly's sticking out further than the chest. Like these are all things that are signs of a larger individual. But when they leave, when we're done, 2 hours later, when we sucked out all the fat out of them, they're laying there and they look like a thin person. They have an hourglass figure, and like the bulges that were there before, they lay on the table, and it's like I'm telling you, it's like it's crazy. It's like magic, and it's like it's so exciting. Did you get a lot of people in their 50s? So the funny thing that Jill Pickard asks, do you get a lot of people in their 50s? So today actually, I had a patient that was 53, and she thought that she was old, and so I told her stories. We've had many older patients. In fact, we have a video on YouTube of us, I think an 83-year-old or something like that, or 78-year-old. She got lipo 3 times and drove herself home all 3 times. So Jill, the answer is yes. We get a lot of. There's no age limit to this. This is if you're healthy and you have fat and you want to look and feel better about yourself. That's what this is about. It's not about an age. So you're not old unless you think you're old. If you think you're old, then you're old. Can I book now for June, or do I have to wait 3 months prior? You can book whenever you want, Cindy. I'm sure the girls would be happy to put you on the schedule. Do you guys have a payment plan? We talked about the layaway plan. I'm so excited. And by the way, we also have a, what is it called? Finance company. So just call our office. They can give you more information about that. Okay, have my procedure in a month. That's awesome. Dude, it is so exciting. Like, it's funny because everybody has the same story. They can't sleep the night before, and they're so excited, and like it's it's life changing. It really is life changing, and so I get excited when I come in every morning. I have a big smile on my face, like yeah, I'm like we're gonna make people skinny today. Like it's so cool, and I know how excited they are. And recently it's funny. People come in and they're like they they've watched all my videos, and they feel like they know me, personally. They've been following me, which is kind of cool, but kind of creepy at the same time. Um, but it's it's nice. I like that you guys are be able to connect with me and ask all these questions. But the funny thing is like I see these questions and I see the individuals' names asking the questions, but it's like it's just like a name on social media, And you see people in person, and you're like, I don't know, Miss Chulata, like it's different than the real person. Let's see. How much fat can be taken from someone's abdomen area before you would recommend getting a tummy tuck? So, Chulada 86. So the question is, how much fat do you recommend taking from someone's abdomen before you would recommend getting a tummy tuck? So this is what I'm talking about. So there is no amount of fat. I would recommend getting liposuction, getting all the fat out of there. And sometimes, like I have some very very large individuals that there's so much that we have to break it down in different stages, where we do different like we'll do the whole front of the abdomen all at once and get as much as we can out, then do the sides and the lower back in a second procedure. So we can do stages. For larger individuals, we just do staged procedures. But there's no reason to get a tummy tuck in my eyes. There's no reason. Now, after liposuction, if you don't get the results that you're looking for, if you don't, if the skin doesn't retract back as much as you anticipated, then you can get a tummy tuck then. And it's a lot easier because then you're just cutting skin away and you don't have to worry about the liposuction. When they do tummy tucks, they simply just don't do enough liposuction. Like, hands down, no questions asked. There's not a single doctor that I've ever seen that did enough liposuction during a tummy tuck. Never. So if you've had a tummy tuck, I can still do more liposuction because there's usually a lot of fat left behind. So I get that a lot. In fact, the lady today that had 360, she had already had a tummy tuck, and so now we took out like unbelievable amount of fat, and she walked away with an hourglass figure and a perky little butt from a square block-shaped body. So it's possible. And she's 53 years old. She had loose skin, she scars all over the place, like all kinds of problems. But yet she walked away with an hourglass figure. So whatever problems you have, whatever excuses you've been telling yourself of why you can't do this or why someone else told you you couldn't do it, like, there's only possibilities at My Shape Lipo. I will not tell you any that is not possible. If you want to do something, I'm gonna figure out how we can do it. Okay, that's how I work. That's my personality. I don't like limitations. I don't like people telling me what I can't do. If I listened to what I couldn't do, I would never be doing the procedure the way I do it now. The techniques that I use now are counterintuitive. They are against what the general teachings are. Hell, I was told at an international fat grafting conference. So this is internationally, all these doctors came in to speak in. This was in New Orleans, and they told me that, and I asked a question to the speaker up on stage. The guy was from Germany. I said, "Is it possible to do fat transfer while the patient is awake?" And it's funny because I heard a couple chuckles in the crowd, like, who is this dumbass asking this question? And the guy said, "No, it's not possible. We can't do that." And I was like, "That's effing crazy." Like, I knew it was possible. I knew it. I knew it was possible. And no one had done this yet. But I came home from New Orleans, and the next week I did my first fat transfer under local anesthetic, and it came out awesome. And so that was about 6 years ago. And since then, I've done all of my fat transfers while the patients are awake. And as far as I know, I don't know anybody else that's doing that. I didn't tell anybody other than patients, but um, you know, it's possible. So if I would have listened to these, experts, these people that are, supposedly know everything, if I listened to these people, then I'd be limited. And so, you know, don't tell me that I can't do something, because if I don't know that it's impossible, I might figure out how to do it. So that's all I'm talking about. It's possible. Like, this individual that's 250 pounds and carries everything around the midsection, it's possible to have an hourglass figure. I'm telling you. Not only is it possible, I'm doing it consistently. So don't worry about how much fat we're gonna take. You just come here and I'm gonna make it awesome. Because that's what I do. And I don't let people leave here looking bad. That's awesome. This Mr. Let's see, or Mrs. Eric Kane. She says, "I had my arms and breasts done in August, and I went from a size XL shirt to a size medium." That's what it's about. Someone says, "Trevor's a genius in lipo." I can testify to that. Who is that? Tanya. Okay. Thank you. We are located in Vegas. The price for Suite 360, it just depends on how large you are, because we have some very large individuals. So the next step, if you're interested in getting the 360 lipo, the next step is getting your consultation. We do free consultations. If you're from out of state, not a big deal. We try to make that easy. We do everything over the phone. You just have to submit pictures through email. And I would like them to. I think we have the capability to do video consultations now. So you can actually stand in front of the picture and in front of the camera and just kind of turn around, and our consultation specialist will take a look, and you can show them exactly what your concern is, and what your expectations are, and we can kind of give you a better idea of what to expect. So again, trying to make it really easy. Flying from Maryland on October 23rd. Nice, Francesca. Okay. Nikki. She said she's healing. She's 2 weeks out. Okay. Dottie. Dottie, you're a pro. Dottie, she's been here. She's been here a few times. Dottie's been on the news with me. You know, Dottie, you should call our office because I think that I'd like to do another interview with you. Or maybe message me, Dottie. Okay. Can you get the procedure if you have high blood pressure meds? Okay, so first of all, medical problems. Any medical problem issue. Um, if you have a concern about your health, I'm going to request that you get medical clearance through your treating physician. So now, when it comes to blood pressure, not a big deal. If the blood pressure medication keeps your blood pressure under control, it's not even an issue, and I probably wouldn't even require any type of medical clearance. Medical clearance would be more for like people who have heart conditions, or if you have diabetes. And really, we're just looking for whatever your medical condition is to be controlled and be cleared for surgery. Is what the doctors call it. So we just get a medical clearance to allow you to do the procedure. So that's the standard answer that you're going to get. So I don't know your specific sorry, I don't know your specific issue, but that's what we're going to end up doing. So if you're medically healthy and you feel good, in all likelihood everything will be fine. I seriously feel like I know you from. That's funny. Lily, it's funny because like I was saying today, the lady that came in, she's like, oh my god, it's like an old friend, and I'm like, who are you? Like I didn't know who she was, obviously, but she's one of those people that had made in comments. Maybe she's on here right now, but it's cool, and I get it, and like, but I don't see you guys, so it's just I don't know, it's weird, this whole social media thing. So, but it's fun. I'm glad that everybody, it's good for us to be able to connect on that level, to be able to, you know, it's good for you guys to see who I am, because uh, doing these procedures, it's a matter of like, as a practitioner and patient relationship, you have to be comfortable with me, and I'm, how shall I say, uh, different maybe. I tell people how it is, and I'm not the type that will sugarcoat stuff. I'm not the type that will pussyfoot around and blow smoke up your ass and try and charge you as much as possible. Like, that's not me at all. So like, I've made a lot of money doing this, and I still make a lot of money. I got other businesses. Like, this is not about money. People can say it's about money. This is not about money. I'm changing people's lives. That's what it's about. And I have a staff and everybody that I need to pay for, and all these people that are helping me. So like, the money needs, I need to make money, obviously, to pay for everything that we're doing here. But it's not about the money. It's about the time. Like, I have a lot of other things I want to do in my life, and liposuction is. I don't want to sit in an office doing liposuction all day long. It's not what I'm about. So the time is valuable to me. Time is the only thing in our lives that we can't, get back. Once the time has passed, it's gone. So it's valuable to me. So I'm giving a certain amount of time of my life to doing liposuction, and so that's the only time I'm allowing them to schedule my procedures. And so that time becomes valuable, and as more people want that time becomes more and more valuable. So um, you know if you're interested in getting this, I'm telling you, now is the time. The results are phenomenal, and I'm only going to get busier with this, and the time's only going to get more limited, and it's only going to get more expensive. So you know think about it. Let's see. So true. Someone said no lips. Yeah. What do you guys think about this whole top fan thing? There's all these top fans now, which is kind of cool. How do they qualify people for top fans?
I don't know. Let's ask one of them.
That's on Facebook. So let's see, who's top fan? You got Tanya, is a top fan. Rachel's a top fan. I think Facebook. It must be because I know each of them they make a lot of comments. So I think that Facebook says that they are considered the top fan, which is cool. So, you know, for me, it's I like to be able to see, I like to see who's interacting. I think it's fun to know. Okay, so for a person having lipo, he must be in perfect physical. Okay, so someone says for a person having lipo, he must be in a perfect. So I've had liposuction. Um, I was bigger in the past. I had lipo when I first started doing liposuction. I was like 12 years ago or something like that, and I was in Beverly Hills, and I didn't even, honestly, when I started doing liposuction, I was like, who the hell gets liposuction? Like I didn't know anybody who had gotten liposuction, and I'm like, how could you have a clinic that was only liposuction? There's not enough people. And then I was wrong. I was so wrong. And so as it turns out, liposuction is the most popular cosmetic procedure in the world. The most popular procedure in the world. Yes. So like almost 700,000 liposuction procedures every single year in the United States alone. So it's super popular. So I was like, I started doing liposuction, and I was like, I got good at it pretty quickly, and it came very natural to me. But I was like, okay, I'm pretty, I was like, I had my belly was kind of folding over my pants a little bit. I thought I felt a little chubby, and I was an athlete in college, so I felt fat at that time. I was maybe like 215 pounds, so I got liposuction. I got liposuction on my abdomen. I got liposuction on my chest. My chest really bothered me, so that was like a big deal to me. I was almost, it bothered me so much. I was so embarrassed that I didn't want to ask them to do it for me because it would show my insecurity. But I'm super happy that I did it. Now, so I had liposuction a long time ago, 12 years ago. Now, in the time gap from then to now, it was like a roller coaster ride, right? Like everyone else, right? So sometimes I ate better than other times. Sometimes I gained weight. Sometimes, I was, right where I wanted to be. But over the years, I had gained you know, I gained a lot. I got to the point where I was about 220 pounds, and this was about 5 years ago. I was about 220 pounds, and I felt really heavy, and I was unhealthy, and my blood pressure was high, and I was stressed out with work and business, and I was like mentally drained. I didn't have enough energy, and so I decided that I was sick of that, and I wanted to change my life. And so at that moment, I decided that I was changing, and so I made some dramatic changes in my life. So I changed my diet, I changed my exercise routine, and I'm a very very disciplined individual. And so I got consulted by a nutritionist, and I worked out my whole nutritional plan and with supplementations and protein shakes and the types of food that I was going to eat. And so I stuck to this, and it's crazy. In a matter of like 3 months, I lost 40 pounds. So I went from 220 to 180. And you can see up on Facebook. We have some pictures of my before and after. This was a while ago. This was about 5 years ago. But the cool thing is that 5 years later, and I'm still lean. I still got a six pack. I'm still strong as hell. And the reason is because I stayed consistent, and so I've stayed disciplined, and I've gotten into things that have kept me motivated to stay active. So I think one of the things that the problems that people have, is that they're not active enough. That's and you already know you're not active enough. So the question is, how can you get more active without it feeling like you are putting forth a lot of effort. And so for me, what I did is I found things that I was passionate about, things that I liked to do that um, that kept me active, that motivated me to. So what I found was like I ran races, so I run Spartan races, and it's exciting to me. I like it's fun. I like the challenge, like the physical challenge. I like that, and so because to I have to train for these things, that it allows me to be excited to get up in the morning. Every morning I get up and I'm like I want to work out, and when I get up every morning and I work out, it's I just start the day off good. You start energized, and that energy carries through the day. Now, once you start cleaning up your diet, you start to like first of all when you're like disciplined, clean diet, the weight will come right off. But you have to. It's a lifestyle. You have to do this. So you guys are looking at me like, okay, I suck fat for a living. I'm gonna help people. People that are very large get skinny. But it's not just about the liposuction. You have to change your lifestyle. The people that don't change their lifestyle you will get fat again. The fat just won't come back in the areas that I removed it. So the fat cells themselves, the fat cells will get larger. So if you remove the abundance of fat cells in this area, you're just not going to get larger in this area. You're going to get larger in like the breasts or the thighs or the butt or your face or wherever you carry your fat cells. That's where you're going to get big. So the key is the diet and the exercise. But number one thing is the diet. If you can't outwork out a bad diet. So if you have a crappy diet, and here's the thing is that most people is like they want to have their cheat day. Like when you're trying to lose weight, don't cheat. There is no cheat day. Don't ever cheat when you're trying to lose weight. Once you get to the phase where you're like you've already lost as much weight as you want and you're at the we'll call it the maintenance phase, way easier. Once you've gotten there, it's way easier. You don't have to work out as much. You don't, you can cheat all the time and once your body is functioning like a machine and your bowels work right, your muscles are strong, you're drinking plenty of water. Once everything is working right, your body will you just won't gain the weight because even if you have that dessert, you're like you're not going to want to be bad. You will skew less to the bad because you look awesome, you feel awesome, you have energy, which is like that's what you need. Most people are like, I don't have energy to do that. I don't have energy to. Well, you need the energy. You got to get the energy by doing the diet and the exercise. That's the key. So the people that I'm targeting right now, the people that I really want to help are the ones that are so far, like you've neglected yourself. And these are like, it's usually, this is usually like the moms that have like two, three, four kids, and you've neglected yourself because it's the kids come first. Kids always come first, right? And so when the kids come first, you're like, okay, well, I couldn't find anything to eat, so I'm just gonna eat this junk food. Just like I gotta, I'm at Johnny's soccer practice, so I'm just gonna eat this popcorn, or I can only get a Snickers bar. I can only do this. So like those people that have been neglecting themselves for a long time, those people I want to help because we can make a huge, huge dramatic change like that. Give you an hourglass figure, and that's freaking exciting. When you get excited, that's when you can stick to it. That's when the discipline's there. And all you really have to do, it takes about, you know, the books that I've read, it takes 30 to 60 days to create a habit. So you need to do something for long enough to create the habit. Once you create the habit, it's like you won't be able to imagine doing things differently. So once you start making healthy choices every single night for 2 months straight, once you start making those healthy choices, it'll just seem like this is what I do. I'm healthy. And once you develop that like what's the word I'm looking for? That reputation. Once you've developed that reputation of you're healthy and you eat healthy when you go out, the people that are around you will hold you up to that reputation, and so that's when it starts to it starts to really solidify and becomes your personality, and it's just your lifestyle. It's just the way it is. So you have to create that. These people that that struggle, it's usually there's some addictive nature to food, and sugar for that, for sure. They say sugar is like more addictive than crack. So you have to do a sugar detox. So figure out how you can detox off of sugar. Once you can get rid of sugar, that will probably put a halt to the weight gain just like that. You'll probably start losing weight pretty quickly. If you drink soda, you got to get rid of soda. Um, Carbs, bread, uh, beans and rice, tortillas, um, pasta, all these the carbs. That's gonna, I haven't been able to eat that and lose weight. So um, that's what I would recommend, getting rid of that stuff. I went off on a long tangent there. So funny. Yeah, so the next step when you guys are ready, 360 lipo, is get your consultation. Okay, for a person to have lipo, he must be in perfect. Okay, no. Do you see any questions?
Yes, they're asking about the BMI.
Hmm. Yeah, I don't know how to calculate BMI. It's so funny how it's like so a lot of these other practices, they take BMI and they use that as a way for them to charge more, because they're like, well, if you're over whatever BMI, we're gonna charge X amount, or percentage more. And it's like, I don't know. I mean, I guess I could have done that, but I just chose not to. I don't like to calculate like that. I'm a real smart guy, but I like to keep things simple. Okay, 4'8", and I weigh 160 pounds. Okay, now we're talking Puerto Rican bitch. That's awesome. I love Instagram. So 4'8", 160 pounds. Okay, because I'm imagining this, and this is it's very similar. I was talking about earlier Lady G. There's some pictures on our website. She's super skinny, and so at that height, I would imagine that you have very large breasts. Um, and it just depends on how your weight is distributed. Some people, if you carry it in the midsection, you're going to be pretty round. So I'm sure that I can make a huge, huge, huge impact. Um, and as I was saying before, when you reduce the size of the waistline, especially for a shorter individual, it elongates the torso and lowers your waistline, so it makes it look like your torso is longer. So it gives the illusion like you're a little bit taller. So someone that's 4'8", to give the illusion like you're a little bit taller is better than giving the illusion like you're short and squatty. So I don't, again, I tell you how it is. I'm sorry. So, but you don't want to give the illusion like you're short and squatty, like that, that boxy shape. So this is the individual that I can absolutely change your life overnight, and you'll love it. And it'll be worth whatever we charge. Okay, I'm 31, I have 5 kids. I'm done having kids. I had my 2 types cut. Okay. 5 foot tall, maybe weigh 162. So there's been a few people saying like like she says, I'm 162 and I want to be 130. So it's not about like, this is not about a number. So stop thinking like I'm gonna get you to a number and things are gonna be good. Because even if I don't change your weight at all, I'm gonna carve out the fat and change your shape. So you can stay the same weight for all I don't care about the weight. You shouldn't care about it either. It's just a number. And the thing that you're gonna find is that you're 162 now. You lose 30 pounds, you're gonna have the same shape. You'll just be smaller. It'll be a smaller shape. So what I'm talking about is we're actually going to remove the fat. It's gone. Remove the fat. It changes the shape. So you can stay the same weight and I'll just change your shape. But once you lose weight afterwards, it just continues to get way better. So you losing the weight, that's on you. That's not on me. My job is to suck out the fat and give you curves, and give you shape, so I can give you better shape to your butt, like that's money right there. Like that is so worth it. And you can do the fat transfer to get larger if you want. Like some individuals need that, but typically these larger individuals, if you carry the weight and you have fullness in the butt, as long as you have fat in the butt, it's not about. So what happens is you get fat surrounding the butt. So like in the waistline, the lower back, the outer thighs, the hips area, and so the butt just kind of blends in with all this stuff, and so there's no like shape to the butt, and so that's what I'm solving. I'm giving you shape to your butt, and it is amazing. Like curves, like curves. And when you take all that fat out, it creates the arch to the back, and it's like, and it leaves like all of a sudden this woman that had it, it was like her butt was the entire backside, like went up into her lower back, like like the butt was everything. It was huge, and all of a sudden we just carve it out, and it's a nice little perky butt that pops out. Like that's what I want to be known for, Like I want to be known for creating that. And that's what I can do best, and that's what people want. So if you want it, that's what I can do for you. And it doesn't matter, you bring him, bring me the challenge. There's nothing I can't do. Maybe something I can't, but I do fat transfer to the face. I'm not don't do a ton of it. So uh, I'm not a huge fan of fat transfer to the face. I like the temporary fillers because they're more consistent. When you use fat, it's for when you transfer fat, the like how much of it stays is somewhat inconsistent. So the studies say about 50% of the fat will survive. So especially when you do fat transfer to the face, you have to then over inject with anticipating that you lose 50%. So what happens if more than 50% stays? Would you be okay with having that volume? Or what if less than 50% survives? Then you may not necessarily get the results that you're looking for. Now, on a positive note, what does stay is considered permanent. And so fat transfer to the face for that purpose is beneficial. So what I would suggest is if you are younger, so like I'm 40 years old and I do fillers, and I've done fillers like in this area here and the cheeks, and it's just like, like just a little bit of fullness, right? When you're younger, you just need a little bit. So these temporary fillers are okay. It's sufficient. You can get by with just a little bit of filler. But as you get older, the necessity for volume is significantly greater. So it doesn't make sense from a financial standpoint to pay for temporary fillers because you need a lot of them to fill what you want. So that's where it's those situations where it's like there's there's no question you should definitely go and do fat transfer. It makes sense when you need a large volume. Um, so that would make sense. And the risk of overfilling isn't necessarily there. Um, so it's like when I look at these situations, you always want to do no harm, right? That's what the oath that we take in medicine. So we want to put a situation where the worst case scenario is still not that bad. So that would be, that's my mentality, that's my mindset. If we over inject on someone that needs a large volume, then they're probably going to be happy, with if they get too much survive. Okay. Okay. There's a question about C-section scars. It's from my navel to my top of my kitty. Okay. Will hanger look sloppier after lipo? And this is a serious question. Okay, so that's okay. First of all, scars, it's a challenge, but it's like I've done thousands of them, so like I'm not worried about it. The lady today, we just did 360 lipo on her, and she was like freaking like like a like cuts everywhere. She had like scar here. She had like an old tummy tuck where they did like a vertical scar and a horizontal scar, and then she had a couple other surgeries from whatever she had, C-section, whatever. So it was no problem at all. With that said, there are some people that it's a problem. And I've had some people where scars are like it's a big issue. So the truth is that I just don't know. It's an unknown, especially since I haven't met you. I just don't know. However, I can tell you if things are loose and jiggly, I'm probably 99% I'm good. If you have quite a bit of fat in there, I'm good. As long as there's a fat layer for me to get through, we should be fine. I can break up scar tissue. That's not a problem for me. If things are super tight and you have a lot of scar tissue in there, that's when we start to get a little hairy and it might be more of an issue. But again, get the consultation. This next step. We have to take a look. We have to ask these questions and get the information that we need before we can make these type of decisions. Any of these cost questions that you guys have? Um, First of all, there is no we're not charging more for out of state people, or in state or whatever. Uh, but any of the specific cost questions, I haven't seen you. So we charge per area. You can go to our website. All the fees structure is there. So um, you don't have to, there's no question, but what areas you need and how many areas you need, that's where the discrepancy is going to be. And so uh, you need to get your consultation. We need to see what we're dealing with to be able to price things out. So we can give you a pretty accurate quote. Okay. I think you do an amazing job. Thank you. All right. So Instagram's going to end soon. Okay. Do you think it is better to do lipo first if you still have a lot of loose skin to... Okay. Yeah, so this is my feeling on tummy tuck. So I hate tummy tuck. It's a huge scar. But I would get liposuction first. In all likelihood, you're not going to want a tummy tuck afterwards. But if you still feel like you have too loose a skin, then you can always get a cutaway afterwards. But I would say upwards in the 90, 95, 98% even. My patients are not getting tummy tuck. Most of the people that are coming to me are trying to avoid tummy tuck, and I absolutely am able to help them do that. Someone says top fans only last for so long. So you got to stay active. Okay. Instagram. You guys want to come back? You want to talk? Do you guys want to talk longer? Okay. All right. That was Instagram. You guys want to go live a little bit longer? Okay. So let's just start this up real quick. All right, so are you researching him or are you going to be going in? Let's see. Clarissa. No, so Clarissa. Yeah, this scar. I wouldn't be too worried about scars. I'm really not that concerned about them. So, hey Granville, how do we go live on the Instagram? So any of you like the C-section scars. So C-section scars, most people have the bikini line, and those will cause the belly to fold over because you get adhesions from the scars. Typically, I'm able to clean those up and make those smooth again, where the belly doesn't fold over, and so that is a big benefit, and it's not necessary for... Oh, whoops. Okay. Oops. Type. Go live. Okay. All right. So typically the C-section scars aren't going to be much of an issue. So I'll be able to get the fat out of there and make it smooth. So one of the issues of why it puckers. So if you have these scars, and explain it to you. So you get adhesions. So what happens is when they cut through you, they cut in different layers, and then as they sew you back up, they sew it back up in different layers. And if they do this properly, it shouldn't have adhesions down at the muscle. But depending on how much fat you have there, like when you like if you got something when you were younger and then you gained weight after the fact, you might have adhesions down to the muscle. So what happens is as you gain weight, the fat grows out around the scar, and you get these adhesions, these puckering of the scar, and so it looks ugly on many people that have this, and it's a concern. It's like the fat's kind of growing around it. So I can actually solve those problems, there's a couple different techniques that I use. One, just simply taking the fat surrounding that will make it lay flat. Okay, so that's the basic. But there's also, you can actually break through the scar tissue, the adhesions that are adhesed down low. You can break through that, and then it just pops back up, and then it's all flat again. So I do this with the C-section scar. I do this with like, um, um, whatever other scars you have, like abdominal scars. People have had gunshots. I've worked with, um, appendix. Liver surgeries, kidney surgeries, all these stuff on the abdomen it hasn't really been an issue, and I've been able to make it look really good afterwards. So, worst case scenario, it's going to be better than when we started. So that's the goal. Is always make it better. Okay, what does your mommy makeover consist over, and how much is it in general? Clarissa, like mommy makeover is simply a term. Every mommy is different. The needs that they have are different. So, you know, we use the term, but it's just a made up term. We're gonna treat you for whatever you need and whatever you want. And so when we do these consultations, we're gonna assess what you have, what you're starting with, and then you explain to us what it is that your goal is. What are you trying to achieve? What's your the shape that you're looking to attain, and then we can start recommending different areas of treatment. So, there's some people that are they're only concerned with the front of their abdomen, but then when we look at them, they're like, man, if you do the front of the abdomen without the sides, it's like you're gonna be boxy this way, but then your belly is just smaller in the front, and it doesn't look right. And like you can do that, but it's like I'm not here to make. I'm just man. I'm just tired of doing mediocre shit. I'm so tired of that. I don't want to do like just okay work. I want like every single one of my patients to be like, when you see the pictures, like, damn, that's freaking awesome. Like that, I want every single one of my patients to walk out and just feeling like man, they put one over on me. Like feel like they got one over on me. Like man, it was worth so much more than what they paid. That's what I want people to feel like. Like everybody, I want every single patient to be like that. And when you come into my office and you start saying, well, I just want to do a little bit here, I just want to do the lower part of the belly, and just this, and like, huh? Like, your whole problem is big. Don't like it's like taking an ice cream scooper and just taking a little bit out of here and thinking that's going to solve your problem. And it's like those people get shitty results, and it's like I'm just tired of doing that. So, you know I'm happy to help people, but I'm not going to make recommendations that are going to make you look like shit. you know it's not in my best interest, not in your best interest. um, I understand some people need to do that stuff for cost, but I'm trying to get fucking awesome results. So if you want fucking awesome results, then you can come to my shape lipo. You can quote me on that one. uh, let's see. Yeah, 360 lipo is popular. Tummy tucks suck. I'm telling you, like, like you guys have been like conditioned. This is it. You've been conditioned to believe that you need a tummy tuck, and you're wrong. I'm sorry to tell you, but you're wrong. And just because some clown in a doctor's suit told you that you needed a tummy tuck and it was going to cost you, $20,000, doesn't mean it's true. So you don't have to get a tummy tuck. Just because you have loose skin, because this is what they tell you, you have loose skin, you need to get a tummy tuck. F that. Don't listen to that crap. Go just look at my pictures. I mean, you see, like this stuff. It blows me away when I have a patient that their belly is elongated and hanging down like 6 inches. Literally, they can't even see their private parts. They can't bend forward to touch their toes. They can't tie their shoes. They have, uh, like, what do they call it? Like yeast infections under the skin fold. That goes away. Like, man, what the hell is that worth to you? You're trying to ask me about price. What the hell is that worth to you? You waking up with like cottage cheese under your like seriously? I'm taking this away. What's that worth to you? Go get your consultation. Man, you like people are crazy sometimes. I'm the only one at the office that does this procedure. This is all me. There's no one else. When you pay for your procedure at My Shape Lipo, you get Trevor Schmidt every time. Someone says, should you use antibacterial soap? That's fantastic, Francesca. That's usually a recommendation for sterile procedures. So like when you do general anesthesia, it's not we don't, you don't have to do that. I would avoid using like lotions and things of that nature because it makes your skin slippery, and that's hard for me to work with. But just make sure you're clean. That's please put deodorant on. Clean yourself. That's appreciated. I like it. Like I like when my patients they show up with like their painted toenails and their, they smell all good. Nobody wants to jump on the table with some smelly person. All right. Okay, so someone says BBL and hip replacement. So hip replacement. Sorry. So hip replacement surgery is going to leave a scar. By the way, my history. When I first got out of school, I was doing orthopedic surgery, and I've done probably 1,000 hip replacements and knee replacements and spine surgery. So totally not a problem. Scar again is not an issue, but I know the scar for the hip replacements and the way that it's placed, it could affect the shape of the butt, so it can become a challenge. And so without seeing you specifically, I don't know. But to be honest with you, I'll make things better. And so I can't promise like perfection because there's no perfection. I'm a perfectionist and I know that there's no perfection. So my goals are high and my expectations are high, but realistically I know that I can't control everything and there's variables that are out of my control. So I just I'm going to do the best that I can. So if you want better, I can give you better. So sorry. Man, I got this like itchy nose. All right. Okay. Let's see. More questions. But by the way, the BBL with the that scar there, adding fat would allow me to fill in any gaps and holes, indentations, and things of that nature. So if that's your concern, I probably can help with that. My baby sister and I want to do it together. She's a bigger girl, and I want to be her support and feel amazing too. Lily. Okay. So, well, we can't do two procedures. I'm only one person, so we're only going to do one at a time. That maybe we can figure out how to get two procedures in one room, but that would be kind of cool. Anything's possible, right? But yeah, we definitely do. We can do both in the same day. That's kind of cool. Or it just depends on how you guys want to do it because obviously you'll be taking care of each other. So if you had another person to help take care of you, the two of you, that might be beneficial. Otherwise, in the past, some people have done like where they one of the persons gets the procedure on one day, then the next day the next person gets it, so that way they can kind of help each other out. Um, so, but, it's whatever you want. We'll make it happen. We can take care of your double chin. It blows me away. I don't do as many chins as I think I should be doing because I see there's so many people out there that have double chins, and it's so easy to get rid of. It's so easy. And it's like it literally takes me like 20 minutes and it's gone. That thing that's been bothering you forever. Like you avoid pictures because of it. You don't post stuff on social media because you're double chin. Like that's the kind of stuff. You get rid of that in a day. It's gone. Um, let's see. Mammy Gixer on Instagram. She says, I have a SVT and high blood pressure. Is it okay for me to get lipo? Yeah. So any medical problems, particularly the heart, so the heart murmur, if as long as it's controlled, it's not an issue for me. It's really, it's if there's anything that's like really of a concern, like it could be an issue. I would ask that you just get cleared through your treating physician. So if this is like if this is something that's an ongoing and it's a concern and you're being treated actively, then you probably need to get some type of clearance. But if it's some like you had this heart murmur a long time ago and it hasn't been an issue over the years, then it's probably not going to be an issue. Okay, so what diet do I recommend? I don't recommend a diet, Cindy. I've tried a bunch of stuff, but honestly, I do what's right for me. And I've tested a lot of different foods, and so I basically limit my diet to certain ingredients. So when I go out to eat, I eat specific things. Like I try to eat when I go out, I'll eat fish and shrimp. So the choices that I'll make on the menu, I like sea bass, for example. So that's usually my fish choice. But when I'm eating at my house, I'm very regimented, and I actually have those what do they call it? They're pre-prepared meals. And one of the ways that I've found to create the habits to allow for a consistent diet is that you have to make it easy for yourself. And so each one of us is different. So what does that mean is going to be different for you than it is for me. But what it means to me is I have to be in a position where I don't make the decision of what I'm going to eat at every meal. Because if it comes to like I just wake up in the morning and I'm like, what am I eat for breakfast this morning? If I have that choice, I'm gonna start thinking like, oh, pancakes, muffins, and like something like the traditional stuff. And so whatever's available is what I'll go get, and that's usually what most people do is they eat whatever's available. So what I did is I made it so for breakfast I do the same thing every day. And so I have two choices. I have a shake which is like a smoothie with fruit, and I'll do that most of the days. But if I want to eat something, I do. I'll do my favorite. I love a single egg on toast with avocado, like avocado toast. So that's like my go-to. And then they have avocado toast now in most restaurants now. So when I go out to eat, that'll be one of my go-to things. But the key is making the right choices consistently. And so it's the consistency that matters. And if you can't do it consistently, then you're not going to get the results. And then so when you're wondering why am I not getting the results, I'm doing this, I'm doing that, it's because you're not being consistent. You're cheating somewhere. I don't know where it is. Only you know. And it's not honestly, it's not for anybody else to tell you. If you're not getting the results that you want, then you're doing the wrong thing. And so it doesn't matter what I did, it doesn't matter what he did or she did or whatever. If you're not getting the results that you want, then you're doing the wrong thing. So you have to do something different. And whatever that means to you, you have to do something different. And you'll just have to explore something different. And then usually the things that are going to halt people up is alcohol, carbs, and sugar. So if you can solve those problems in your diet, you can probably conquer pretty much anything. Because those are the things that people are addicted to. And if you're saying you're like, oh, there's no way I can give this up, then you're going to be fat. That's just the way it is. You can do anything else that you want, and maybe you can figure it out, but those things are going to be your Achilles heel, and they will stop you from accomplishing your dreams and having the shape and the body that you want. So get rid of alcohol. That's the number one thing. You cannot lose weight and drink alcohol. Don't listen to this whatever bullshit you see on Facebook says that you can drink a glass of wine every night and it's healthy for you. That's crap. If you want to lose weight, cut out the alcohol. The first thing your body's going to burn is the alcohol. So when you drink the alcohol, it's going to burn the alcohol first, and then it'll start working on the fat. So if you eliminate the alcohol, your body will start burning the fat. When you get onto the keto diet, the idea behind that is that your body burns the fat. So if you eat, I'm not totally familiar with the keto diet, but the idea is you get into ketosis, which is it's a state of being, and your body is a chemical state where your body starts to burn and use fats as energy. So it uses your stored energy, and that's the idea with the keto diet. You can do that. That's cool. It's tough. It's for me, honestly. It's tough to follow. You know those specific diets. For me, it's more about, and this is kind of a mindset thing. It's just about like for each individual situation, you're just making the best choice. So you have to realize that everything matters. Every choice that you make, it matters. Eating this stick of gum, it matters. Everything. And if you start thinking that everything matters, every little food that you put in your mouth, every piece of candy that you put in your mouth, every piece of bread, it all matters. Every single bit of it matters. And if you can think that way, then every single decision that you make, every time you put something into your mouth, every time you make that decision, you can make the right decision. And if you make the right decision consistently, long enough, everything will take care of itself. Exercise, you have to be active. It's not only just for your weight, but it's your metabolism. It's the movement. You have to move. This is like from an orthopedic standpoint, your joints are not going to work. You either use it or lose it. So if you're not walking around, your joints will stiffen up. You'll get arthritic. And you'll end up getting a joint replacement. I've seen people from that side. I know the people that don't do well are the ones that sit on the couch. They say my knees hurt, so I can't do this. That's total BS. Get your ass up. It's gonna hurt, but you gotta move. If you don't keep moving, you're gonna not be able to move. So move. And it also is gonna get your metabolism going. So you have to figure out something that's gonna get you passionate in your life. Like you have to want to get up in the morning. You have to want to do stuff and like figure out something that gets you excited. So that's the key is you got to create the lifestyle, the eat the food that you want, but it's got to be within the boundaries of what's healthy. So you got to figure out what you like, and then surround yourself with the stuff that you like. So if you figure out the food that's healthy, and you can eat like fruit, man, I could eat fruit all day long, and I eat a ton of fruit. Your greens, like vegetables, you can eat as much, man, you can eat as much vegetable as you want, as much fruit as you want. Most people, like, you can eat that all day long, and not you can't eat too many vegetables. You're not going to get fat eating vegetables. No one said I got fat. I got this belly because I ate too much broccoli. No one says that. Like it just doesn't happen. So, just eat your fruits. Eat more fruits than meat. And avoid breads. You can get to a point of ketosis, and there's different supplementations. You can get complex, but the reality is just like what to do. Most people, there's all these like guidelines out there. Just what to do. Just make better choices. Just make better choices. That's the goal. Let's see. Dottie's telling her story. She says, I won't lie, I put on some weight since lipo 2 years ago. It does not come back in the areas where they retreated and the fat was removed. It fills in the non-lipo areas. That's what I found as well. And you know what, Dottie, you could probably agree to this. So when I gained weight, because I had lipo like 12 years ago. So when I gained weight, and when I got to my heaviest, I started to see more irregularities in the area where we did liposuction. And my belief and my understanding of what was happening is after you have liposuction, you're going to have some scar tissue, and so the scar tissue kind of forms haphazardly underneath the skin, and then, as you know, with the scars that you see exteriorly, when they form adhesions, they'll pull in different ways, so that's when they cause the puckering. Well, the scar tissue underneath the skin does the same idea, but it grabs onto the bottom surface of the skin, and it causes indentations and things like that, and dimples. So as I got heavier, I noticed a lot more of the dimples, and then when I lost the 40 pounds, all that stuff went away. All the issues that I had from scar tissue just completely disappeared. So um, lose the weight and it'll get better. Let's see. Lily, I'm excited for you too. Hello from Detroit. Rachel, my kids always come first. You know, it's just it's in the nature of the mom. You know, my wife is the same way. She's like, the kids always come first, and like she's like break her back for the kids. And you know what I've found from a professional standpoint. So from my perspective, I see these people that have just, you know, they broke their back. They gave everything to their kids, and you know I've also seen this. It's kind of interesting. Also seen this in, we get a lot of social workers. So it's, I believe it's the same concept where they're giving so much of themselves that they neglect themselves. And then finally it's, there's always this point, you know, there's like when you neglect yourself enough, you realize like, and when you and then when you realize, you're like, oh my god, I've been neglecting myself, and I've been, you know, like, look at me, you know, like, and you disgust yourself. Once you get to that point and you hate it enough, you're like, enough's enough, I got to change. And so that's this cycle of neglect, I think, that which is drawing people towards liposuction, because I can get you that, you know, quick dramatic result to kind of, it's almost like hitting a reset button. So you've been sitting at a desk for 25 years and neglecting yourself, and you know, working long hours and eating at the vending machine, and you know, not moving, and you've gained weight, and it's like, and you just need a jump start. It's like you really don't want to do that anymore. You really do want to be active. You really do want to be healthy and be able to see your kids grow up, and you know, be around your grandkids. You want to be able to get on the ground with your kids and play when they're young. You know, like, these are like the simple things in life that are just, you're just robbed as you get heavier. You're just robbed of these simple basic things, like to be able to tie your shoes, you know, to be able to wash in, you know, the right places, to be able to wear like fitted clothes and feel good about yourself, and wake up in the morning and look at the mirror and be like, damn, I look good. You know, like, you deserve that, and you know, like, you can have that. You don't have to. It doesn't have to be that way. You don't have to neglect yourself anymore. You know, so liposuction, 360 lipo, is like game changer. All of a sudden, you got an hourglass figure, and it changes everything. You're gonna have to get a whole new wardrobe, because you're like, screw that. I'm not wearing that big baggy crap anymore. I'm gonna wear some form-fitted clothes, right, Dottie? Go look at Dottie's profile. You look at the pictures that she's taken now, because she got her a nice little hourglass figure, and she's a realtor, and she's like getting in front of people, and she's going out, and she's single now, in case you guys are wondering. Or maybe you're not, maybe you're dating somebody, but you're looking good, Dottie. And I'm like, I'm real happy for you. She says, I'm 5'1". Yeah. See, it's a big difference. Can you get lipo if you had a hip replacement? Yes, you can. You can get lipo before you get a hip replacement too. 5', 235. I can change you. I can change your life. This is that's like, that's it right there. That's the person that I'm talking to. It's you. You're the one. You're the one, Adriana. You need 360 lipo. And I'm telling you, if you think you have a small butt, the 360 lipo is gonna all of a sudden make your butt pop out. And I always joke with these, like this lady today, she was a grandma. I'm like, you're gonna have to learn how to twerk. Because now it's like, you're gonna have like nice little bubble butt. And yeah, you gotta learn how to twerk, right? I'm sure there's a YouTube channel for that. All right. Well, I appreciate you guys jumping on with me today. I'm getting kind of tired. I've been talking for a while. When you guys are ready, this 360 lipo is legit. So, you just figure out what you got to do. But I'm here. It's me. We're changing lives, making a difference, getting that waistline. So your first step, next step, is to get your consultation. It's a free consultation. For those of you that are coming from out of state, we do this over the phone, and you just have to send pictures. We try and make it real easy. Call our office. Go check there's a link in our profile, so go back to there. And do people on Facebook, please share this before you get off. But I do appreciate each one of you for jumping on. And I'll be back next time. We'll talk some more. I really, really, really like 360 lipo, and I hope you guys see that. Honestly, I would love to do 360 lipo all day, every day, and I would do less of other procedures if I could do more 360 lipo. That's how much I like it, and that's how much I think it's like. It's to me, it's making the biggest impact on all my patients and on their lives, on their confidence, on everything. And it's like I can't get enough of it. And I hope you guys. I hope you guys come, and I hope you guys take advantage of the situation. I hope you guys tell your friends about it because there's so many people we can help. Each one of us, you just gotta reach out. You gotta share the information because most people just don't know. They don't know that it's possible. They're thinking they have to get a tummy tuck, and they hate that idea. They don't want to do it. But thank you guys for watching. I'm losing my voice. Um, any questions? You can leave them down below. You can also message us. We have people to answer the questions. You can call our office. Pricing's on the website. Get your free consultation. Uh, Thank you guys for watching. You have a great day.